Ahoy, swabs! Captain Jeff the Pirate here, at your disservice. Welcome to Captain Jeff Reviews and Questions Adventure Time. Now, this past week, we got more of the backstory of Marcy Abadier. It was a 4-night special event where both two parts of the episode were about Marcy. So, without further ado, Captain Jeff is proud to be reviewing and questioning Adventure Time, the special 8-part, 4-night series special Adventure Time Stakes. And with that, let us begin the review. Arr. Alright, let's see. We enter in episode 7, Checkmate. The episode opens with Peppermint Butler writing in his journal about how he would be so excited if he could meet the Vampire King. So Jake the dog shows up and asks for the bucket with some food in it, and Peppermint says, would the Vampire King be able to sign something? Alright, that's weird. Alright, so Marcy and Bubblegum be doing some jumping jacks to get ready for the final battle. She now has 4 of the 5 powers, and she's still half human, half demon, so she's not vampire, so I don't know how it's going to work out. Let's see. So then they be trying to figure out how do they find the Vampire King, and he says, "I come to you." So the Vampire King shows up, and they try to fight him. Stakes are being thrown left and right. Finn tries to use like this super stake, which is basically a tree with multiple stakes on the end. Jake actually has stakes in it. He's like a Iron Maiden, only of stakes and dog. So the fight's not going well. The king is actually pretty good. He's able to throw off their attacks. So then Finn, he actually tries to use the grass blade in his hand, to which for some reason it doesn't work. Also, the king appeared with only 1 vampire cow, so I don't get it. There's a whole bunch of other animals that were turned into vampires, and now what, are they running free in the land of Ood? Are they destroyed? What's going on here? Let's see. Yeah, so the king, he proposes a deal with Marceline. He's noted how she's been alive long enough to see how the world has changed. The king points out he no longer wants to be the Vampire King, and he offers to surrender himself, and he wants to be turned mortal. He doesn't want to have the power anymore. So, yeah, most of the people agree to this, except for Finn, who was kerflung off screen and comes back down. And then, for some reason, he starts to repeatedly kick the king in the crotch. Seriously, you can't see it because of where Marceline's head is in the shot, but afterwards the king has a really high voice for some reason. Yeah, very weird. Alright, so Peppermint Butler is eagerly awaiting for them to come back. And they all come in, and he freaks out. He's like, "Oh, I want him to sign it, but I can't." He's all thinking this. So then, right before the king goes through the procedure, he gives a psychic autograph to the Peppermint Butler. And then the machine fires up, and everyone has protective eye gear on except for Peppermint Butler, who is now pretty much blinded. Turns out the Vampire King... Alright, so he and the cow are now devampirized, so... Where are the other animals? Are they destroyed, or are we going to have to deal with them later? Especially with that vampire Guntar. So the cow is now a cow, and the Vampire King was actually just a lion. So I'm trying to figure out, was this an effect of the bomb? Or, I don't know, was this before the bomb? Was this before the Mushroom War? I don't know. So then the next day, everyone's enjoying breakfast or sleeping, and Peppermint Butler is still blind, and Bubblegum... okay, this is where the writing falls short. Surely, Princess Bubblegum is not that dense. She asks if Peppermint Butler could see, and he says that his internal sight, it works better, so he's still good. So she hands him the bucket full of vampire essence, pure vampire essence. And I've noticed a theme with the bucket in this series. There was, like in the first 2 episodes, that disappeared for a while. So then we had it earlier in this episode holding the food, and now it's holding pure vampire essence. She wants him to bury it someplace safe, because otherwise it could destroy reality itself. And of course he'd be blind, so he trips, he falls, and the bucket pretty much, it detonates a nuclear cloud of some sort. A mushroom cloud actually comes out of the thing. It renders the cabin destroyed, and somehow, I don't know how, through the magic of cartoon physics, all the characters survive. Point blank at this epicenter of an explosion. And now, some weird giant dark cloud has formed in its rain. It has like a lion's head and body and 2 serpent heads, so I'm wondering, once again, did the bomb from the Mushroom War cause all this? Was this before the Mushroom War? Was this an effect of the Cataclysm Comet or whatever? This would be a good episode. The King, I liked how the King, he wanted to try to do peace. This sort of is almost like what we had to do with the previous vampire they fought, but this, he actually was meaning it. Also, he noted how Marceline's been alive long enough to see how the world works. So he was able to reason with her. I thought this was pretty good, except for like a few shortcomings here and there. I'd be giving this episode a thumb and a half up. That's all the time we have for this episode. Stay tuned as we cover the final part in the 8-part series of Adventure Time Stakes. Until next time, this be Captain Jeff saying thank you for watching, and as always, arr.